scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it.
You are now tapped into the, let me say that again, the coolest reptile podcast in the entire world. We live in the world, right? Us humans. You are now tapped into the coolest reptile podcast in this motherfucking world. How are you guys? What is good? I'm your boy MJ. If this is your first time tapping in, welcome to Trap Talk with MJ, where we all get together every Thursday, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, talk about real life shit that involves animals, because it's all about the animals. But man, if this is your first time being here, what is good? Hope you're ready for a great show. What's up with all my trappers, all my early birds? I see you guys. About to say what with you guys, say what up to you guys in just a minute. But yeah, man, please don't forget to subscribe, like, give me a comment. Let me know how you like the guest. Let the guest know how you're liking it. And it's, all that. Because guess what? For the most part, my guests come back for round 2. I have not thought of any guests. I can maybe think of one of who I would not invite for a guest round 2. Other than that, everyone else is coming back for round 2. So make sure you guys are subscribed. That way you're not sleeping on any of my trap talks that I come out with. I also have Trap Clip Tuesdays that come out every Tuesday as well on YouTube. So yeah, man. And before we get started, for the freshest and bestest rodents delivered to your doorstep, you're going to want to go to www.coldbloodedcafe.com. Freshest and bestest, $30 flat rate shipping. Anywhere from the day one pinks all the way to the mammoth rats. They got it. That's a fact. So shout out to Steven, Desiree, the whole Cold Blooded Cafe crew. You guys are amazing. Shout out to Steven. Shout out to Ashley, Focus Cube Habitats, Flex in Texas. Really awesome stuff that they got going on over there. So make sure you guys go check them out. If you are in need of a sick-ass enclosure for your animal, then you're going to want to go check out Focus Cube Habitats for sure. Thank you so much for sponsoring the channel, guys. You guys are amazing. And then shout out to Jesse, the whole Freedom Breeder crew. If you guys got Freedom Breeder racks, fuck, you already know the deal. That shit's legit. Super legit. And to have them sponsor the podcast is even more legit. So thank you, Jesse. It means a lot. This kind of shit right here is what motivates a player like myself. So thank you so much, Jesse. Again, and for reals, Freedom Breeder, it's the real deal. If you got a Freedom Breeder rack, you already know the deal. That's for sure. And then if you guys aren't following this guy yet, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on in your world, but you need to spiff it up, because my man Miguel Garcia is always doing big things and always inspiring motherfuckers like myself, but always evolving pythons. Check him out. Hatches some amazing ball pythons, and I'm saying the kind of ball pythons to really level you up in this game. If you are looking around and seeing these snakes being produced that a lot of people aren't working with, and you're like, how in the fuck can I get my hands on some of that stuff? Or what can I do to lead myself to a project working with stuff that no one else is working with? Go check out what Miguel has. I'm telling you right now, you will not be disappointed. Let him know your boy MJ sent you. He will take extra good care of you. And yes, thank you, Miguel. I'm glad you're back home. I'm glad you're back with your family. If you guys, any of you guys didn't know, this motherfucker got COVID in Mexico with some of his friends while doing that big event down there in Mexico City, but he's back. I'm glad he's back. It's my boy. I'm sure his family missed him. Shout out to AEP. Shout out to the whole team. And then shout out to you if you support USARK. USARK needs us all the time. North Carolina, shit is hitting the fan. I came out with the plug segment, giving you guys a fucking heads up about what was about to go down in North Carolina. And it's not too late. You guys need to go to the USARK's website, see what you guys can do to fucking lift this ban. It's ridiculous. This is stupid. Like, this is fucking child's play. This is dumb. Who the fuck's going to take my animals away from me? Nobody. So, you know, if you feel the same and you're in an area that's affected like North Carolina, you need to step up, man. There's people that you could contact in USARK's website who's responsible for this ban. You guys need to do what you got to do to email these motherfuckers and just get on their case about it, because this is stupid. Sorry, this is, you know, banning any kind of animal, exotic animal. That's just ridiculous. But shout out to USARK. Please go down to the link below. If you cannot financially support USARK, it's all good. Don't feel bad. Shit happens. Just talk about it, man. The more we talk about USARK, the more people aren't like confused about it. This hobby's getting bigger every day, and it's a fact. So USARK is something that's really important for anyone to know when stepping into this hobby. So link in the description below. Shout out to all the USARK members. You guys are sick. Gotta take my alpha brain, bro. Gotta take my alpha brain. And then, yeah, let's see. If you guys want to get a hold of me, the best way to get a hold of me is on Instagram for sure. mjexoticscartal with an A, not an E. And then make sure you follow the Instagram's podcast page, Trap Talk with MJ Podcast. Shout out to Twitch. If there's any of my Twitch viewers out there, you guys are real ones. TikTok, I'm done. I'm over it. Next episode, you'll see that TikTok logo gone. I am over the commercial life. I thought I wanted to do it, and I don't. I'm sorry. It's too popcorny. It's too corny. I just don't want nothing to do with it. Nothing against TikTokers out there. Keep doing your thing. It's just not trappy. It's just not MJ. And I'm gonna fucking, just so you know, I am outro by TikTok. But one thing I'll never leave is my Patreon members. You guys are amazing. I love you guys to death. If you're out there or trying to support me more than a subscription, if you're like, damn, MJ, you've been killing it for a long time. Holy shit. I want to support you. Dude, support me by joining the Patreon page. That will mean the world to me, because I have a group of fucking savages who are constantly going back and forth, giving each other information. A lot of people with their first clutches. So this is like vital stuff for a lot of you up and coming fucking breeders out there. And we're all down to earth too. None of that funky fucking Bob Smith shit is going on in the Patreon family. And it just gets addressed if it does. And it's just not happening. So if you out there want to be a part of something, and if you want to support me more than a subscription, go down to the link below, click on the Patreon page, and dude, much love and respect. Any fucking ounce of support I get from anybody out there, I'm telling you, I don't deserve it. You guys are amazing. And, you know, I definitely don't deserve Patreon members who pay me. I love you guys. But it's fucking game time. Let's go. Enough is enough. Who's in the chat? I want to see what early birds are here. I am pumped right now. Your boy is fucking pumped. 1776 Exotics, the big homie Mike. This is my boy right here. Patreon member. Please go give him a follow. He is sick as fuck. Has some really cool ball python projects going on. And he's into chondros. Jay Hendo, another Patreon savage. What is good, Jay? Thanks for tapping in. I hope you're ready for a good show. The homie Black Smoke Reptiles. What is good, Black Smoke? Jacob right here. He's part of the Trap Talk management team right here. Is my boy, Jacob. Please go give my boy Jacob a follow. Evolution Exotics, my homie Matt, very passionate about being in this fucking hobby. He's growing a great fucking selective chondro collection, and it's also dipping into ball pythons. Give my man Matt a follow. Shout out to another Trap Patreon savage, HB Reptiles. I hope you're ready for a good show. Wiz Constrictor, day one homie right here. He's one of the only cats who's actually won a giveaway that I done. I used to do giveaways like a year ago. Don't do any of that shit no more. But I'm glad I went to a real player like Wiz. And I'm pretty sure that girl's ready to breed here soon. Right, Wiz, if I'm correct? I hope it's going well, man. Thanks for being here. Genomic Labs, what is good, player? Paco Miranda, the homie Paco. I haven't seen that for in a while. Bods, what is good, Bods? How are you, man? Chad 2, Patreon homie, all day. Tyler King, Patreon homie, all day. Big love right there. Let's see who else is in here. Joe, what up, Joe? Nate Dog, what up, Nate? Nate, Patreon family all day. JW family, what is good? Thanks for catching the live. Golden Boy Reptiles. This guy right here, somebody you want to follow for sure. He has heat, definitely heat. And dude, we're going to do business real soon together because this motherfucker has heat. That's all I got to say. And go follow my man, Golden Boy Reptiles. Yeah, he's producing some sick ass shit. And yeah, we'll be talking soon. And the homie Matt Summers, travel. He's my travel management, audio, video while we're on the road. This is the man to go follow. My homie Matt Summers of MSR. Thanks for being here. And we're gonna end it right here with my boy Angel, because my boy Angel needs to get to 1K on Instagram. Okay, this is the homie. He definitely needs to be at 1K by now. Go follow my boy Reptile 310 LA in the building. Follow my mans. He has a lot of cool shit going on, and he's a homie. Boom. All right. Who's ready for tonight's show? I'm ready for tonight, because guess what? Guess what is around the corner? You guys see my shirt? Can you read that? Okay, well, it says Daytona. That's a sim container too, by the way. Shout out to the sponsor. Sim container, Daytona flags. Daytona show is going down in 2 fucking weeks. I am very excited because I've heard nothing but Daytona this, Daytona that from like OGs, people who've been in this for quite a while. And I'm like, fuck, it's like a Tinley thing. I want to just be there. I want to see it. Well, it's going down. And who we have here tonight tapping in with us from Florida is somebody who's no stranger to these Daytona shows. And I know he's excited for it as well, but he's tapping in from Florida. It's my man, Dale Richards of Constricted Reptiles. What is up, Dale Richards?
What's going on?
I like
Daytona's in 2 weeks.
Yep. Did you light a candle? What is that? What do you got going on over there? That is.
I'm in Florida, so the mosquitoes are like birds out here. So I lit some tiki torches,
Smart.
some citronella.
I love the vibe. What's up, Dale? Hey, Dale. So how you living, my man? How's everything?
I'm doing well. You?
Can't complain. I'm just like I said, I'm super excited. Well, a couple of things why I'm excited, bro. I mean, honestly, I've been wanting to bring you on the show for quite a while. I think I reached out to you I want to say a year ago. So like this is long overdue, I think, right? Yeah. So I'm excited for this. And I'm excited to talk to you about Daytona. I'm excited to talk to you about GHI, Acid, bro. There's a list of excitement for me right now, so I got to control it. And I just want to start from the very beginning, man. Go ahead and let people know what part of Florida you're in and how long your involvement has been with these ball pythons.
Well, I'm in Central Florida, so I'm about, I don't know, 45 minutes from the actual beach in Daytona, but like actually like probably 10 minutes from Daytona. Okay. Also about, I don't know, 30 minutes from Orlando. So as far as how long I've been in it, I think I started with corn snakes, and I think I probably got into those in like, I don't know, I would say probably 2006 maybe.
How old are you?
I am 35.
Oh, cool. So same age. So 2006. Yeah. Let's just go back to 2006. So what made you get into corn snakes to begin with, let alone breed them in 2006?
So I had animals my whole life growing up. I mean, my mom and we always had stuff. We accidentally bred gerbils and guinea pigs and even garter snakes. I think I was probably 7 or 8 when we accidentally bred garter snakes and sold them to the local pet store. So anyways, I was gifted what was supposed to be a male boa when I was probably 17. So I used to go just to the PetSmart, or I think it was PetSmart, that was in Daytona, just to get a frozen rat. They came in the little fancy frozen bags. And I go in to pick up a rat one day, and I walk by this cage, and it's got fluorescent orange snake in it. And I'm like, what is this? And I look next to it, and it's got this red one, which was a regular corn snake, honestly, but still very cool. And also a gray one. I'm like, what's going here? So home, I did a little bit of research, and I go back and I grabbed the normal corn snake and the anery corn snake and the albino corn snake. And They were like, I think they were like $50 a piece or something, and
Nice.
maybe more than that. I don't even remember. But
So you
anyways,
bought them. You bought them with the intention, like I'm gonna buy these and breed them, or you're like I bought it.
yeah,
I bought them
yeah,
because
yeah.
they're cool. Okay, cool.
No,
Right.
I went in there. I don't know. I've always loved animals, obviously, but I've never been a person that wants to go work that day job. Like I always wanted to either my long-term goal was to own a pet store or to own a plant nursery.
Oh, cool.
And the older I got, I was like, well, pet stores aren't probably viable, and plant nurseries.
Yeah.
I kind of tried. I mean, kind of tried to run one out of here. There was a time at one point I sold a bunch of sago palms because I tried both of them at the same time, and I figured out that you can really only focus on one thing. And I think I made like $100, and I was like, Daytona was in town that weekend, and I ran over there and I bought corn snake with money I made from selling plants. And then at some point it became to the point where I was like, oh, well, the reptiles are a more viable source of income. And honestly, it was more so the rats than the reptiles. So my original thought process when I got into this was to breed the rodents for money and do the reptiles for what I liked on the side.
Right.
So that was my original business strategy, was to do rodents and then also do the reptiles as like another income, supplementary income, like. So, but I mean, I still do both, but
Nice.
I quickly learned that I would much rather do the reptiles.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of what's crazy is like people who don't even really have the ambition to do reptiles right off the bat, get into reptiles, and then want to do reptiles. So it's easy to want to do reptiles if you keep them in general. It's kind of like it's like getting a tattoo, like normally you don't just get a tattoo. Like, like you get a tattoo and you're fucking gone after that. Like for the most part, and there's some people keep it moderate. Some people only just get one tattoo. I mean, it just depends, but
yeah, but the corn snakes at the Petco were probably really what threw me into this whole thing. So after that, I did more research, and then I was scared of ball pythons. I was like, you got to incubate these things, gotta
right.
this.
Okay,
This
yeah,
is
right.
hard. So I wasn't sure
Right.
that I could do it. So I didn't have money back then. I didn't know how to. I was like $100 for a snake. Like even
Yeah.
my first breeding was a spider ball python that I got. I think I paid between $200 and $300 for it or something, to a normal. The whole clutch ended up going bad.
Yeah.
Like literally they crawled out and died. And from that point on, it was kind of like, I know I can do this. I just got to figure out how to do it.
Right.
And then slowly started investing. But even the original investment wasn't crazy. It was like I took like $1,000 on a credit card and went to Daytona, and I bought a Mojave female, and I bought a
But
couple
dude,
single G'ing girls and stuff like that.
what trips me out though, Dale, for guys our age back in 2006, that's heavy, bro. Like just to spend any kind of money where it's not something you get instantly in return. You don't even know back then, because back then there was no really crazy social media like there was now.
Yeah, you didn't know.
More blogs and stuff. But I mean, so I got to say, I commend you for taking the risk, because like you said, you're like, fuck incubation. There's not much information that you could really, unless you know somebody, which I'm sure you knew somebody, right? Was there anybody you knew back working with ball pythons?
I didn't know anybody when I first started doing ball pythons. Literally, I knew nobody. I met most of the people that I know, honestly, probably through starting to do rodents. So the reason I did rodents in a very, very, very small scale, like a 1.3 for my corn snakes, and I would just freeze them off as I needed them. And then when I decided, we moved, and when I decided I was going to try and do ball pythons, I was like, well, everything I hear about these things is they don't eat. you have to breed. They have to eat live. They have to do this. They have to do that. So I set up at that point. There was a little information like on breeding, so I actually figured out how to make a rack system for the rodents. Was before that I built some ghetto cage that was like it was compartmentalized, like, and I was bouncing the male between 3 females, like in a little flat hardware cloth box almost.
Right.
But I started having extra, and I was like, well, Craigslist. I put out a small ad or whatever, and I had people that would come over and they would grab. It was a couple bucks here and a couple bucks there. I was like, well, there's money in this, and that's where the initial kickoff from the rodents, and that's kind of where I was still mostly doing corn snakes at that point. I hadn't really invested anything when I started breeding the rodents. I was like, well, there's money in rodents, and so that's where I started thinking about the whole actual business aspect of it. As far as the rest, it just kind of followed that. So
wait, so where are you at with the rats right now? Like, how big of a rat production are you running, or what's going on with the rats?
I'm not. I wish I was running. The rats are so unpredictable. The rats are the biggest headache, honestly. So
God, you think?
Yeah, they're the worst.
Dude, they're the worst.
So I mean, right now,
I'm glad somebody says this, because everyone always says, like, and no, it's true, but like, yeah, I produce my own rats. Like, fucking, like, god damn, it's like collecting receipts. No, dude, producing your own rats is probably the biggest chunk of work when it comes to wanting to do this whole fucking hobby, bro. Like, I'm telling you right now, the rats really tests you. It really puts you where you're at in this shit. I'm glad I don't fuck with those. God damn.
So I provide for myself, and I provide for a couple other local people sometimes. So like right now, I run short on everything, and it sucks because it happens every year. And most of my clients are friends. So it sucks when you don't have what they need, and you got to start going and looking for stuff like otherwise. But I don't know. I haven't figured out how to control it besides getting bigger, which I don't really want to do. So, I mean, I provide enough to supply myself, and George MD is one of my regular customers. And then outside of that, Jason Kitting Reptiles, when I have the rodents, he's one of my regular customers.
Are they picking up weekly, or they pick up bi-weekly, weekly? How often are they picking up?
George gets every week. Jason is usually bi-weekly, because he got smart, and he has another guy on hand that he gets the opposite week from, because he knows the problem every year. And so, like, right now I've turned it down the last 3 weeks, I think, which sucks. Right. But like I said, because he's a good friend. So
right. That's cool.
So yeah, the rodents, they're stressful. The biggest part that stresses me out is having to turn down friends, like, when they need stuff. So
yeah, I bet. I mean, because I'm sure sometimes it's like, you kind of feel like they take it personal when you tell them no sometimes, or no?
I don't feel like they take it personal, but it bothers me. And then sometimes I kind of cut myself short, honestly, to fulfill some of the orders. So It's like, it's just such a certain times that, like, I don't know, 3 months ago, I had rats and mice I knew what to do with. And then every year it runs into the same thing, where now it's like, probably partially heat in Florida doesn't help. I mean, they're somewhat comfortable at the same temperatures we are. So when it's 90 degrees here, I mean, they don't want to breed. But I mean, the demand greatly increases this time of the year as well.
Yeah, so. I mean, especially it's during the COVID shit too. Like, it's just everything's more in the demand, like, and rats, rodents.
Well, everybody's collection grows each year too. So
yeah, for sure. Holdbacks are held back. Yeah, exactly. Collections are growing by the day. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so
hard, but
so back to the ball pythons. Okay, so corn snakes. you got that down. Then you kind of took the plunge into ball pythons. At what point did you make it an actual, like, did you make it Constricted Reptiles? Like, when did you actually make it a company and start, posting stuff on Instagram and, like, making it that sort of the side of the.
So I started with Facebook because Instagram wasn't a thing then.
Right.
Honestly, the name doesn't have a whole lot of meaning behind it, honestly, and I would probably change it, but it's kind of established.
Yeah.
My original thing was I wasn't on social media at all. I could care less about social media back then. And when I got into, at that point, it was mostly corn snakes. But I already knew I wanted to establish it as somewhat of a business. So I was trying to separate myself. So I wanted to do a business page on Facebook, but you cannot do a business page without having a personal page. So that's the only reason I got on Facebook, was to set up a personal page and I set up a business page. But then you got to come up with a business name, and basically I just pulled it out of nowhere. Honestly, I just for a couple weeks went around, like, with just kind of trying to figure out something.
Right.
Originally, like I said, it was geared slightly more towards the rodent. So I wish I had to come up with a name like Cold Blooded Cafe or something like that. Because I mean, that's not that would apply to me at this point, but I was kind of thinking, like, yeah, I know, right? But I was thinking like Constricted Rodents or something like that, and then it kind of transitioned from there.
I'm not trying to, like, toot my own horn, but toot motherfuckers, because I come up with some really cool fucking names, and I have some really, really awesome rodent names I came up with. I'm not spitting any of them on here, just because I'd rather not. But it's cool. I mean, I do feel, with all due respect, people do need to get more creative, put something a little bit more behind their brand, because it's kind of like, all right, that's your name, Exotics, like, that's cool,
Yep.
But at the end of the day, I mean, the animals do all the talking. I mean, you could fucking put, I like Lamp and Exotics and still have them, a big ass following. I mean, like I said, the animals will do all the talking for you if people would just understand that. But, the whole brand thing, it's important, but I don't think it's as important as you trying to figure out where you fit in this hobby longevity wise. Like, you obviously saw yourself in this for the long run. You know what I mean?
Right.
And a lot of people, I feel like, get into this so excited, and they see other shit to where they create a brand, they do all this, but they don't really put themselves in 5 years down the road, and it's crazy, because I've been in this for 4 years. And I just cleaned house recently on the people I was following, because I was like, why am I following almost 1,000 people? Like, this is too much. And with all due respect, I was like, who the fuck am I even following on here who I don't even talk to? I don't even look at their shit. Like, and with all due respect, and dude, I cannot tell you how many fucking accounts I came by with people who haven't posted stuff since like 2019. Like, and I'm like, damn, where did this? It was kind of like, oh my God, where did this person go? And I'm just like, it was tripping me out. It trips me out. But
that was Facebook for me. So when I jumped on, like I said, obviously Facebook was the only thing that was there. So when I jumped on Facebook, I was following everybody that had a snake picture. It was like, maybe you couldn't then, I don't know, but maybe you could. But I didn't realize till later that you could friend requests, or not friend requests, but you could accept a request, but you didn't actually have to follow them to see their content. So my content feed was just ridiculous. Like, I wasn't seeing most of the stuff that I even cared about. So that's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of probably what threw me off on Facebook in the beginning, was I was just way oversaturated in everything that I was seeing on there. But I don't know, I like Instagram more. But the same thing you said with IG. Like, I mean, a lot of the people, I'll go back through and I'll see all of a sudden I'll see photos pop up out of nowhere, and I'm like, why am I following this person? And I'll click on it and I'll go back and I'll look at it and be like, oh, because they had this 3 years ago, and they haven't posted since, and now they don't even have snakes anymore or something weird like that. Like, so.
And honestly, like I always told myself, well, fuck, maybe I should create a personal account, but I don't want to even do all that work because I'm like you. I'm only doing social media because how heavy I am into the snakes. Like back when I was DJing, like I never bro, I was not somebody always fucking posting shit. You know what I mean? I was more low key. Like you could see me partying if you go way back to my older Instagram posts, like way back in the day, but nowhere near the level of exposing myself the way I do with the snakes. Now, I only do it, like you said, because, bro, it comes with the territory. I am so thankful that the last 2 years I have not had to use Morph Market because I've legitimately been building, because I've been putting myself out there for like the last 4 years. Well, 2 years ago when I first started having clutches out, I even then had people following me who were like, dude, I've been waiting for you to have clutches. Like, this is so sick. And I'm like, what, really? And they're just fucking selling. Like, all my animals are gone off Instagram, and I'm blessed.
That's awesome.
You know, that's why I try to stay by their rules. Fucking Instagram, you know, you've been following me, Dale, for a while, so you know how I do my music on my stories and I show my room and stuff. Well, now Instagram's starting to block it all because of my music. You know, like they're like, oh, this isn't your music. You know, so they're not blocking it in this country. They're blocking it in like Iraq and other countries. But just to stay off their radar, not to piss them off, I just delete those stories. I take them down. I go, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? That's how they want to get you, and that's how they want to control you. Because I've seen motherfuckers.
It's weird. I mean, I had somebody try to send me some photos. Literally, they were my photos, but they were through Facebook the other day.
Right.
And it's a friend. They would not let those photos come through. I don't know why. They were completely blocked. I was like, here, just text them to me. And Instagram's owned by Facebook, unfortunately.
I thought it was Facebook owns Instagram. So Instagram owns Facebook?
That's what I meant. Yes. Facebook owns.
Okay.
They're the same company.
Fuck.
Anyways. Yeah. So eventually it's gonna, but yeah, so they completely blocked the photos from me come through like on Messenger, which was weird. So it's weird. They're controlling everything. So I don't know how long Instagram will be viable.
I mean, I feel like, dude, I mean, it's scary to think, because a lot of people run their shit off Instagram and make good money off Instagram.
Oh, they do.
As times are going on, there's a lot of rules now. There's starting to be a lot of changes and shit, and it's just a matter of time, man. Like, I don't know, it's see what happens, But all I got to say is, just be ready. Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, you just got to keep your options open. Instagram has been a great tool for me as far as selling animals. I'm on Morph Market. I need to get on there and post some animals. I got a ton of animals that I've posted, but I also do a lot of shows. So
now, what if you could compare? Where do you sell more? You sell more at a show, or do you sell more at a off Morph Market?
Depends on how you categorize it. So dollar wise, the higher sales are usually on Morph Market, and the rest of it's usually at shows. I mean, I can go to a show and I could sell low end stuff all day long. You might go to a show. It depends on the show also. A lot of the shows I'm talking about are your Repticons. I mean, I do Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa, Kissimmee. Those are all Florida shows that are 3 times a year each. And then also Raleigh occasionally, Atlanta occasionally. So you'll get decent sales there occasionally. But
do you really do you enjoy the shows, or do they stress you out, honestly? Like, as far as vending,
I do enjoy the shows, honestly, a lot. I would like to do slightly less shows, but so the thing is, I also vend dry goods for a friend that I hooked up with about the time that I went full time at this. So I left my day job and I went full time at this, and he contacted me and asked it basically. So he books all of our shows. So he pays for the tables and all that kind of stuff, and I get a cut of what I sell, and I get to put my animals on the table, and I get to sell them. The problem is, as it goes on, it's 10. If it depends on when my wife can go or somebody else, and I have help, it's a little easier. But when I'm trying to do 8 tables by myself, it's hard to give, because the snake people need, like the people that are purchasing animals need a lot of contact time. They got to ask questions, they got to see the animals, they got to hold the animals. And when you're over here trying to sell heat tape and racks and all that type of stuff, it's hard to do 8 tables at one time, I guess is the easy way to put it. So it'd be nice to focus on just the animals.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I had the experience of helping Cold Blooded Cafe and Reptech move all their shit to the Schaumburg show. And, we had a big squad, we had a lot of people there. So it went smoothly, but I was still stressed out because it's like waiting for this and like having to like just move a bunch of shit. And like, I just hate transporting live animals. Like, it's just not like, I'm not a fan of that. That stresses me out. Like, I'm not.
So I do about 2 tables of animals, and then the other 6 is dry goods every show, roughly.
Right. And my biggest thing is like, I don't know. My biggest thing is it's like, I'm somebody who always likes to be out in the shit that's going on. And for me to be stuck behind a table, you got to be there for the money. You got to be there to want to sell, plain and simple. And if you're not there behind the table building relationships, you're not going to sell shit. That's just how sales is.
That's not necessarily the case though. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, I would like to take what I'm doing to the point to where I'm just doing animals, and I can just go to a show and do animals, and I can go kind of network and whatever. The stuff you got on your table, the people, if they want an animal and it's not a het clown female or something like that they're coming back to, they're not leaving that show without that animal if they want it. Especially if it's like a one-kind animal that you can't go somewhere else and get. So you don't have to attend the table quite to the point where you're trying to sell pet trade animals. So
you meaning it's kind of there for people to glance at, and they kind of like, if they really want that animal, they're going to come back and get that, is what you're saying.
If you go to Justin's table and Justin's not at the table and his animals are for sale and you see something you want, aren't you going to come back when he's there?
Or are you going to talk to his manager or one of his workers?
No. I'm saying if nobody's at the table.
Oh yeah.
If you walked up and nobody's there, you're going to come back when somebody's there, right? To buy that.
How often does Justin leave his table unattended though? I've seen his table. He
doesn't, because he only vends high-end shows. He only vends a couple shows.
Right.
But I'm saying that from a lower end standpoint. So at a Repticon something, if somebody comes up and they want that animal, they're going to leave with that animal.
Right.
Regardless, instead of going to the other 5 tables that also have pet clowns or whatever they're looking for. So
makes sense.
It just depends.
Makes sense. Now, if we could get back to the ball python like business side of things, what were the projects that like you really invested in that kind of really put you in the right like kind of the right direction on where you're at today with all your projects? Like, what were some of the beginning ones?
So I'll be honest with you, probably and it's not that substantial. Like, obviously, I mean, I invested in like clown and stuff like that, but not like nothing crazy in the beginning. The biggest probably project that I invested in, and it wasn't even a lot of money, I mean, it was to me at that point, I guess. But I bought a GHI yellow belly male from George, and that was probably one of the best investments that I could ever think of.
Damn.
That animal probably put me on the map.
And what year was this?
Damn, I don't even know.
You're not that old, man.
It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't crazy long ago. I mean, it wasn't.
Because GHI yellow belly.
I could run downstairs and I could look at his tag because it probably has the date on it.
No, you're good. You don't have to do all that. No, you're good. I always like to ask because I like to know how far back, for instance, GHI
it was only about $1,000. So
and that was the male. So I mean, so that had to be like 2012, 2011. That far, that long ago, you think?
Maybe.
Damn. I'm curious. You don't have to go downstairs or anything or go. But I am curious to want to know when that exact time frame was. Hit me up. Let me know. But the GHI yellow belly, like, what did you put that guy to? Like, what were some of the projects he helped you out with or get you started with?
In the beginning, Mojaves, GHI yellow belly Mojaves were like gold.
Wow.
They were so black and so perfect, and everybody wanted them. I think that's what got my IG to where it is now. I could post one of those and get an insane amount of views and likes, and the numbers would just climb. So, I mean, I would contribute a lot of my success to that. And then I'm horrible with dates and years, but probably one of the next bigger investments that I made down the road was into the acid, and I bought an acid female.
Nice.
And it was still untapped. It was barely out there. So, and
how was that? How was the acid project introduced to you?
So, well, I mean, as you know, Josh is a friend. So
Josh Jensen?
Yes.
Oh, cool. You know Josh? I didn't know you know Josh. I think he did mention that, if I remember correctly. I think you guys, if I remember, you guys were homies. I mean, you guys are homies. What he told me, but yeah, continue, please.
Yeah. So back in the day, my rats were on my back porch, and I had rack systems set up. I was breeding rats, and Josh was always looking for the next dinker. Like that was his game. He was running for the dinker projects. And I was always somebody that was like, I want to kind of know what I got. Like, I'm willing to, again, I didn't have money then, but I wanted to know what I had. I'd be willing to invest in something that I knew what I was doing.
Right.
I didn't want to not necessarily put the legwork in there, but I don't know. But anyways, so he'd always text me like, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? I'm like, I don't know. He had bought the original acid as from some guy. He didn't know what he had or whatever, and it wasn't eating, it wasn't feeding, blah, blah, blah. And well, he reproduced them. And he sent me these pictures of I think it was pastel acids. I was like, well, that's cool. And then kind of from that point on, I was like, I need to get in this project. But
right.
I wasn't gonna, hey, hook me up, this, that, whatever.
Right.
So it went on. I think it was a couple years later, maybe 2 years later or something after that point, before he started kind of releasing them. So, but as soon as I was able to jump in, I jumped in. It was by far the most money I'd ever spent on an animal. But
oh shit!
It's been worth it.
It's so worth it. Look at this thing, bro. Like, are you kidding me? Like, this is just so. Here's one example of acid in a GHI spot-nosed yellow belly. This was posted 2 weeks ago. And what is this, a male or female?
That was a
boy.
male.
It's a male. Okay, cool. Nice. Damn, that thing's so fucking fire, bro. I didn't like that. My bad. And okay, let me look at some other acid stuff of yours real quick, because you posted some recent stuff. Like, look at this. Damn. I'm not, the whole bumblebee thing, or like the whole anything with spider, because spider is bumblebee, a form of bumblebee, right? Okay, but nothing against that.
Yeah.
Nothing against that or anything, but like that changes everything here. Like, look at this. Like, this thing is fucking
It is
sick.
insane looking.
Oh my god! And it's hypo. I can only imagine what hypo would do to this. Heavy, gorgeous, and this right here, what's a female? And it's a female. I'm sure you're holding this back, or are you selling this one?
No. So actually, another good friend of mine, Barry Swope, he's also in the acid project, and he's right here local with us. So he's a good friend with Josh and everybody else too. So it was actually his female. She's been at my house for, I don't know, probably the past 2 years. But it was a pastel acid het hypo to a hypo bumblebee. We were hoping to make some stuff missing the spider, even though that combo is insane looking. But we were hoping to make, because until this year, nobody's made a hypo combo that was a male. So we've been trying to make an acid or a confusion or whatever you want to call it, hypo that's a male. So we made female, but we couldn't make a male. So this girl came over. Actually, he sent that girl to me to put the super gravel on, because.
Oh, so he made that.
No. Well, I made it.
Oh, you made this. Okay, got it.
Yeah. But it's his female, so we're selling that whole clutch. So yeah, she is available.
Nice.
I haven't posted her yet, but she will be available.
Oh, there you go. You got the inside. Nice.
Yeah. So, but I got lucky now, and I've hit 2 acid hypo males and a pastel acid hypo male, which 2 of them just hatched. What, today and yesterday, or I think. And then the other one, the regular acid hypo male, I hatched about a couple weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago. Which I'm holding him back. So the acid hypo and the acid pastel hypo just hatched that are males will be available.
Oh yeah.
So
fire. I like this one a lot. This is sick. Really neat looking.
It's an insane looking combo, and it will be super sweet. And yeah, that's the girl, or the pastel acid hypo that hatched.
This is right here. This is my shit, bro. God damn.
So this is pastel and acid work wonders together. And they age good, because if you go back on my page, you'll find a pastel acid hypo female that actually has size on her that I hatched last year, and she looks insane. So,
do you have an idea what you're gonna put to this dude, or
hypo puzzle?
Woo, God!
I've got a hypo puzzle breeding a pastel acid het hypo right now. She doesn't have follicles, but even if she don't go, I'll get her in there eventually, either through the earlier male that hatched, or the pastel acid hypo female that is growing up to the hypo puzzle, or something like that. It's gonna happen.
So how long do you know how long it's been since you've been working with acid? If I know you're not good with years and dates, but if you could kind of recall, how long has acid been a part of your programs here?
Josh would probably tell you. Probably 5, 4.
Dude, don't make me have to get
5
Josh
years now.
If I have to get Josh now. If I have to bring Josh on here for facts, I will. Don't give me like 10 minutes, and I could probably get Josh Jensen on here. Just give me some minutes.
Yeah.
But
I want to say probably 5 years.
Okay, 5 years. Now, with
maybe,
acid hypo, acid is obviously in your hypo projects. What other recessive projects do you have acid going inside of?
If I get super lucky, I'll hit acid clowns this year. I actually bought a female from my buddy Jason who produced. She's a black pastel acid clown, and right now she's sitting at about just over 2,000 grams, and I have bred her. So I have some acid clowns coming up. I may produce some this year if I'm real lucky. It's a long shot. It was like an acid het clown that I'd made because that was my original intentions when I got into the project, but I didn't have any visual clowns at the time either. So girls anyways. So it was kind of a long shot. So
nice.
Maybe some acid clowns this year. Acid hypos. I think that was my last collection of those this year. I've done acid genetic stripes. That was actually a project that me and Travis Wyman did together. So my super pastel acid genetic stripe male will be breeding this coming year, hopefully.
You know what I want to see in that shit? Super GHI hypo. I want to see a super GHI hypo.
Super GHI hypo acid.
With leopard or something, like just another, or blackhead or just something dark. I don't fucking know, but just like, that's just one of many possibilities with acid. Like acid's just something I really need. Like and I talked to Josh. Go ahead.
It's still very untapped. There's still a lot to do with it.
I know. Time flies though, you know. I really feel like I've been talking about wanting, like I've been sleeping on acid, I've been sleeping on Desert Ghost. And what's another one?
You got to get Desert Ghost.
I know. I just don't want to get it from anybody. Like I'm trying to get Desert Ghost from like, you know who I'm trying to get it from. And I don't know where he's at right now. He's probably fucking
Jeremy.
No, I'm talking about fucking Will Moros. I want it from somebody who doesn't. I want it from somebody who doesn't want to sell it. That's the kind of animals I like. I like the ones that people don't want to get rid of because that's the true meaning of.
Jeremy's got some good stuff too. That's the source.
Jeremy who?
That's the original source. Jeremy
who?
Fireball Reptiles.
Okay, I don't know who that is, bro. I'm telling you, I'm not.
So Desert Ghost was originated at the Bells here in Florida, and Jeremy does all the Bell sales. So,
well, what do you know? Thanks for plugging me for that, because you know I feel like I know a lot, but I don't know everything, and I did not know this about Fireball Reptiles. I've never even seen this guy's page before. So, and yeah, he definitely has Desert Ghost. Wow, this is sick. So what? He was working with Desert Ghost before anyone else was, or what?
No. So the Bells, which is one of the biggest facilities probably in the United States, is the originators of the Desert Ghost. That's where it popped up, and that's also where Cryptic or Krypton came from, with the Bells,
right?
Which is why it's popping up in everybody's lines of Desert Ghost or anything that's bred with Desert Ghost or multiple other things. But anyways, yes, Jeremy Fireball, he's actually not far from me here, but he sells the Bell stuff. That's like, he's like their broker or whatever you want to call it. He's their salesperson.
That is sick. I had the pleasure of meeting both of them at Schaumburg, and it was like meeting rock stars for sure, 100%. It was fucking sick. It was really awesome. Kim and Mark Bell.
Oh yeah.
I got to meet them, and it was awesome. Really awesome. I was okay. Here's the thing, you know, I was doing some. I was doing podcasts at the show. I would having guests, and I think we're doing our last one. And I'm like, you know, I was one shot. You know, one shot.
Can you get them on here? That would be the challenge.
No, it's not gonna happen. So let me explain to you, dude. Let me explain. So check this out. So, anyways, I'm doing the podcast, and he knows Desiree was kind of like on Kim and Mark about like, hey, we really want to sit down. Kim was more accepted to it, but Mark was like, bro, get the fuck out of here, right? So what's funny is though, as I was doing a podcast, he comes as I'm talking. I'm not really paying attention. As I'm talking, I'm not really looking at who's at the table because I'm at Cold Blooded Cafe's table, and I see a tall boy, a Pabst beer tall boy, like hit the table, right? And then I hear like loud talk, like as I'm talking, I hear louder talking, and then he's like, "What's going on here? Fucking podcast? Yeah, you'll never find me on that shit." And I'm like, "Who the fuck?" And I'm looking, I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, he has long hair, bro, and like he just don't give a fuck. I'm respecting it, but I'm respecting it, but I'm also in the back of my head curious. I'm like, who the motherfuck is this guy? He
Legend.
Legend, bro. Walks away, then comes back. Desiree introduces me into him, and we talked for like 5 minutes, and it was fucking very casual and just like it was awesome, bro. Like this guy right here was fucking rock star status, legend. And we actually got to talk to him a little bit at the bar, like later on that night. It was surreal. It was really awesome to actually meet them. And that's crazy that it's cool that you told me. I had no idea about this Jeremy Smith guy, so I'm definitely following him right now and looking to see what DG stuff he has, because I'm definitely sick of sleeping on DG. I don't, I'm just over it. Like I love hypo.
Crazy stuff. That's who I picked up my pastel desert ghost. Well, I mean, I've gotten a couple pastel desert ghosts from him. Pastel desert ghost Inchy, pastel desert ghost double het genetic stripe cryptic.
Damn.
It's if you're looking for DG stuff, that's where you should start.
I've been very favoritism to Will, just because
No disrespect to Will, because Will's DG game's insane. But yeah, the bells are where it started.
Damn, I just have to share this because I happen to pull your page back up, and this is the pastel DG double het cryptic genetic stripe female. This shit does not look like this. Really looks photoshopped. Like it looks like you definitely painted this bitch.
She's nuts. That
is insane looking, bro. Now the cryptic, man. I mean, I'm very new to the whole hearing about cryptic. When how much do you have invested in cryptic morph and whatnot?
I have her. She's the only thing I have invested in cryptic.
Nice.
So I'm pretty. I shouldn't say I'm heavily invested. Because I haven't really invested any money in it. But as far as the the genetic stripe clown, my time is heavily invested in that.
Right.
So I think in 2014, I think it was, I had a clown male that I should have put to a ton of stuff, and I was like, nobody's going to care about clown in a couple of years. Everybody's doing it. So I really did nothing with him, and I didn't lose you. Can you still hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Sorry,
you're good.
Slightly knocked the air, but anyways, in 2014, I bred a clown to a super pastel het genetic stripe girl because nobody had done that. I had no idea what it was going to look like. I was like, it's probably not going to be that impressive. It'll be a striped clown or something. But when you don't have many animals, you do weird things like that. Anyways, so I held back for pastel. They were 100% het clown, but they were only 50% het genetic stripe. And then I bred those 4 girls 2 years ago, I think, because they didn't go the first year. 2 of them went. I got clowns, pastel clowns, all that, but nothing was genetic stripe. But then I bred them last year. The other 2 went. The first 2 didn't. And I got, in one clutch, I got genetic stripes. I got clowns and I got no genetic stripes. And the other clutch, I got clowns, genetic stripe, and a genetic stripe clown male. So the genetic stripe clown project was still pretty early, like as far as being relevant. And there's a lot of people working on it at this point. So anyways, I kind of stumbled into that project by really not knowing what I was, kind of just doing an odd breeding, basically. I was like, well, I wonder what this will look like. So I took the chance, but it turned out a lot different than what I thought it would be. So it worked out to my advantage. And then I produced 2 girls this year from those 2 girls. But since then, I've heavily I did another pairing, and I've got 4, 5, 6 600% double het combos, butter,
Nice.
lesser, super butter, all that stuff. So anyways, I got 3 more. I think I got 2, 3. I got 3 clutches in incubator right now to possibly produce more G-stripe clowns this
Nice.
year, which are
Nice.
really my most anticipated clutches. So
So the G stripe is an important factor to
so
you.
yeah. So anyways, I guess where I was going with that is the G-stripe clown I plan on breeding into the desert ghost that is double het, cryptic, and genetic, right? Because cryptic and clown make the krypton, which is a visual recessive that is actually double het for clown and cryptic.
Right.
So it'll actually, from doing that, I could actually produce krypton genetic stripes that are 100% het desert ghost. So that's a introduction into getting getting a desert ghost into my G-stripe clown project.
So how many clutches are you at this year?
Less than last year. I think I'm gonna have a. It's been a weird year.
Yeah.
I think I'm only at like 40. I don't know, honestly. I think I'm gonna finish the year out at about probably 60, which is less than last year. So this year's been weird. It's been late.
Was that intentional, or you just had females not go for you this year?
It was not intentional. It was a very weird year. I had a ton of males that didn't want to do anything. Proven breeders didn't touch a girl. I had several females reabsorb. It's been a crazy weird year.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I mean, you still have 40 something on the boards. So that's still good. That's
yeah. I think I'm almost at 50 right now, but I think I'll finish out at about 60.
Respect. I mean, that's still. What'd you hit last year?
Not a whole lot more last year, but it was what I expected. I think I hit like 40 or 65 last year, plus a couple bow litters, and I mean that doesn't include. I got some corn snakes and some Hondurans and stuff like that happening out. But as far as just ball pythons, I didn't do any boas this year. Actually, I only paired one girl for a minute, and she didn't go, and I didn't push her. So next year, I think I'll probably do about 3 to 4 boa litters on top of hopefully 80 plus clutches of ball pythons. I don't really want to go crazy big, honestly. I'm planning on getting rid of a bunch of stuff right now, and I would like to. Yeah, I'd like to probably stay under 100 clutches for a while. So 80 would be ideal, but.
Yeah.
At least until we move and stuff. We're building a house right now, so or getting ready to, I should say. We haven't actually broken ground on it, but we bought 13 acres on a lake.
Damn, that is so sick! Congrats, 13 acres on the lake, ballin'.
Yeah, I can't wait. So we've designed a house, but we're waiting to break ground on it, and then. After we do that, we're going to sell the house that we're currently in, which we own outright. So hopefully most of that money will be able to go towards the rest of the stuff we want, as far as the building and all that kind of stuff. So,
bro, I just need to ask you because this is
It's in California money though. It's Florida money.
Yeah, but still, I mean that's still good though. You know what I mean? That's still. Don't get me wrong, it's still sick. But bro, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? Like.
Dude, you should see. I should have posted her again. She's blacker than black right now. She shed yesterday, and she is.
Bro, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? What is the deal with her?
I don't know. I'll send you a picture of her from yesterday when we got off of here. I'll just
This
DM
is
it to you.
everything I want in a snake. Like, this is like my ball python dream. Dude, there's pastel in this. Like, are you kidding me? Like, this does not make any
So that
sense.
seems to be a thing with some pastels. They seem to almost go do like this IMG thing, like in a boa, where it increases the black melanin or something. I don't know. I don't think it's genetic. I don't know why it happens, but it seems to happen in certain pastels. But she's a lot darker than that right now. She just shed 2 days ago, I think it was,
This
and
is
she's
ridiculous.
dark. Like,
This is my
she's not
shit.
the
Right?
best. She ain't the best feeder, but she's insane looking.
How big is she?
She ain't probably a whole lot bigger than what she is in that picture. She's probably only like 700 grams, something like that.
Oh, damn. Okay, so she's about another year or so if everything goes right. I mean, she's not eating good, huh? Like, she's not a like every week type of eater.
No, she'll slam a couple, like, she's kind of ASF specific. She'll hit a couple of them at a time, and then she'll shut off for a couple weeks, and then she'll go again, and so
Weird. Yeah, that's how you
yeah,
do it.
it's whatever. I mean,
Yeah,
she's
it is what it
definitely
is.
cool. If she would reproduce, that'd be insane. But
So, what's your game plan with her? I'm just curious. What do you plan on putting her to down the road?
I mean, I don't know 100%. Like, it kind of depends on what I got at that point. But I mean, as far as the acid and the clown stuff, I definitely plan on doing acid G-stripe clown stuff. So I'm working on that now. And then just other random combos. I mean, getting really any visual acid clowns would be nice. So
There's not too many acid clowns out there, right? Am I mistaken?
there is not very many acid clowns out there, and I mean, you're talking at least 6K for an acid clown or more. So
Heavy.
they're still up there, and they're obviously going to come down like anything else. But it's a great, like I said, I think I said earlier, the reason I got in the acid gene is because I was like, that's going to be an awesome clown combo. Yeah. Unfortunately, I was way behind everybody else who had the money to invest at that point. When I was like, I'm going to spend all my money on this acid, everybody else was sitting over there with clowns. And they're like, well, I'm also going to spend money on this acid. So they're a little ahead. Or this confusion or whatever. But
yeah.
I don't feel like I'm way behind. So
I don't think you're. I just feel like you're on your own path, man. Because if it's one thing I could really tell with people's projects is like what direction they're trying to go. And I could just see like whatever it is that you've been producing has been what's on your mind. Like these are your projects, which I admire. Like this is what I want out of people. Like this, I want people to invest in what they want to do and not follow someone else's dream. But you know, I mean, case by case. But this is just amazing. Like I love how you literally just fucking you rode the wave you wanted to ride, and now your work's starting to show. You know what it was you invested. It's fucking sick.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely got some your long-term goals. I mean, eventually, like, I'm trying to work the acid hypo stuff into the DG, do acid hypo DG stuff, do probably acid hypo, or not probably, but definitely acid hypo puzzle stuff. I don't think I'll do acid hypo clown stuff just because I don't know. I think it'll be an amazing combo, but I'm so far behind on that. I don't have any acid or any hypo clown stuff, so it'd be like breaking new ground basically.
Right.
Maybe I'll shoot and I'll throw something like and just shoot for triple hets or something and do acid hypo DG clown stuff just because I feel like I'd have a running chance at that eventually and just skip that process. something
Right.
it's weird because some things I tried for years to do, and it's like the odds just never play out for you or whatever. Like Xanthic clowns, I've had a horrible time doing Xanthic clown stuff. Like
Right.
tried for years to make hets, never had any trouble or double hits. But it's all I don't know. It's almost like at that point, when you get to that point, maybe just skip the double visual and you go for the triple hets
Right.
to make the triple visual or something like that. So kind of depends on your space, I guess, to what you can hold back. And so
Let me
I
ask you
gotta,
this. Let me ask you this, Dale. Since you have so many of your projects invested in, and we're talking projects people aren't really working with, like kind of like one of a kind type things. What's your opinion with like you finally coming out with stuff that you made and you put it up for a certain price, and then like out of the blue, someone comes up with not the exact same project, but something similar with that genetic in it, and then kind of like does something with the price, either too high or too low, but really like does something drastic with the price. Like, what's your opinion with people pricing things the way they just want to price it regardless of the project?
that is a very touchy subject. I I'm a pretty non-confrontational person, so honestly, I could care less if you price the project too high because it's only going to help my stuff sell. But yeah, occasionally people come out with something and they don't think it's the value is quite there, and they price it lower than what either the market has it like classified at or what you think it's worth.
Right.
Um, it gets a little hard sometimes. I don't usually I'm not going to go after somebody about it. Like if they price theirs and at a significantly low price, I'm going to leave mine the same. I'm not going to come after like that price and be like, well, I got to lower mine now, because I don't think that's the way to market something. And if theirs is going to sell, okay, so it sold. Well, now the other one's there, so you can either I'll let stuff sit on Morph Market for a year.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know, that's kind of my mentality. It sucks.
I
I
feel
mean, that's all I can say. Like, yeah, it sucks when people come out and it's like, we've been working on this, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, whatever.
right. And it doesn't happen often, but it does happen. You know what I mean? Like I've seen it.
It happens more than you think.
Yeah, I
And
I guess I could say I've seen ordeals out of it. I've only seen a couple ordeals from it, but it is a thing, like you said, you know.
yeah, it just depends on who makes a stink about it and who doesn't. So it's
Right.
I don't know. It's not my mentality to go after somebody.
So about what other project out there has kind of been lingering in your mind, right? Ball python project that like you're not really vested in, like you're talking about breaking new ground with certain things. Like, do you have anything that you might want to break new ground with at some point down the road in your career with ball pythons?
As far as like what, investing in something new
Projects,
or
yeah, like for instance, like we
something
were talking about hypo clown, right? Like you're like, I was just using that as an example. Is there anything else like that, like, or anything out there that has been in your mind? You're like, like I would love to have this at some point be a part of what I got going on, but you just haven't added it yet.
I mean, there's a ton of stuff out there that I look at, like for exactly what you just said. Hypoclowns,
Right.
hypopides. I think they're both amazing. I would maybe jump into something if the opportunity was right. I'm not going to start making double hets on that stuff right now. Like
Right.
maybe if I had the opportunity to jump in at like with three, like not necessarily ready to go, but three hypopie girls or three hypoclown girls, and I could grow up and I had a specific direction for that project, which I could think of some, but it gets to the point where I got to manage what I have now, and I got to get rid of, honestly, some of the projects that I have now that don't necessarily, they don't not fit for me. They're just, I can go to the show all day and I can sell whatever on most of these projects, but they just don't make sense to turn out clutches that are $1,500 to $200 or $2,000 when I should be focusing on the clutches that are growing up in the racks or that are also ready, and I'm kind of putting them in the same category as this $2,000 clutch, but this is a $5,000 to $8,000 clutch.
Right.
So, and not just say it's about money, but it's
about money.
Business. It is a business.
Come on, knock it off. This shit's about money, man. Like, just we're all grown ups. We're grown as men, and like I feel like people are so. And this is not you. I'm just saying people are so scared to be like, the money, motherfucker. It's about money. Do you have a real job? No, your job is your passion, and that's money that you got. You cannot feed your children without fucking what you do. Like, that's just how it is. Like, it is.
Exactly.
I ain't scared to say it. Oh, you do snakes for full time? Yeah, motherfucker, I do. What? A lot of people wish they could, but they're stuck in their own day to day. But regardless, with that being said, I with you saying, you concentrating on the stuff you've invested in, that's why I wanted to know, like, the whole acid thing, like, when it got introduced to you and how far back that goes for you, because that's a project that you feel like is never going to leave you anytime soon, right?
No, I think acid is a staple, probably moving forward. Like something like leopard. Is leopard not a staple?
I don't know. Let's ask the homie here. Maybe this homie knows a little bit about acid and leopard and stuff. But we got the homie Josh tapping in from Florida as well. Jay Royals in the building. What is good, Josh?
What's up, guys?
Thanks for being here, player.
Yep. The acid gene is the best gene.
There it is. How you living, doggy? How's everything?
All right. Hanging in there.
Yeah. How's your year going?
Season's good. Lost a couple clutches for, a couple went bad here and there, but I had 48 clutches. So some were going to be bad, but no, it was a pretty good year. I'm in the middle of it right now. So I don't really know. I got stuff that's still hasn't shed yet that I haven't even looked at again. I don't know what it is. Everything's kind of just coming at once. I had 48 clutches hatched in 60 days. So, and we're on like
crazy.
How typical is that for you?
All coming at once.
How typical is that for you, Josh?
Normally it'd be like 80 or 90 days. So now it's 60 days.
Right.
So it got even tighter than normal. So still pretty, but it was more than normal. So it's a lot all at once. It's fun.
Now, like, I'm assuming you have quite a bit of females going late for you this year as well, or no? No, everything's just going as normal for you.
Yep.
Okay.
Everything just goes, and that's it. Once I stop pairing, like March.
Right.
It's over.
And then it's over.
It's done. It's done.
Well, dude, listen, I appreciate you being here, man. It means a lot. We're talking to your boy here, Dale. We were talking about the acid gene and whatnot, and one of the things I wanted to conversate with you about is just like the whole investment side of acid. Like, where do you stand, bro, with like people pricing shit whatever they want to price it at if they're working with it, and we could talk about, like, nothing, it's not happening with acid, but how would that affect you if people were to do that with like an acid gene or something?
I don't know, man. I really don't even look at other people's prices that often. I kind of just put the animal up for what it would take for me to not have it anymore. So
there you go.
I look at this thing, I'm like, well, how much do I need to not have this anymore? And that's what I price it at. I think everybody's probably doing great with the acid. It looks that way when you look at the sold listings and people pop stuff up and it sells. Mine sell. Hey, the hobby in general seems to be doing excellent.
Damn. Well, I guess Dell didn't think so. He dipped out. Whatever.
Yeah, he's done.
No, man, for real. Because I mean, if it's one thing that's like the proof is in the fucking post, is how valuable and how amazing acid is doing in combinations of other things, especially clown, bro. We just pulled up the homie fucking Dale's pastel acid het clown.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you've seen acids like that before? I mean, what's the deal, bro? Like, that's amazing.
You talking about the one that turned black?
Yeah, the one that's turning black.
No, I haven't. None of mine have done that yet.
Wow. We were just talking about your pastel acid het clown girl, Dale.
Sorry, I dropped out. I missed.
It's all good.
I missed.
Yeah. I honestly myself just saw that for the first time like a couple weeks ago. And I was like, when the hell did this start happening?
Right.
Dude, yeah.
Maybe he told me about it, but I don't remember.
She got darker after she shed 2 days ago.
Oh man.
What are some
I guess that's the IMG.
Right. Fuck. That looks like the
I
ball
guess.
python
I don't
IMG,
know.
bro. Ball python IMG. That's what I'm thinking.
Yep.
So
Stormtrooper.
Josh, how excited are you for Daytona, man? Daytona's 2 weeks away. I know I'm stoked. I get to meet both you guys for the first time, but how you feel about Daytona?
I feel good. I mean, it's a little stressful at this time. Got to have your little graphic designing in, make sure you got all your stickers and your T-shirts, and it's a little stressful, but it's just one show, the only show I do, so I can't complain. So I got plenty of time to get ready. I'm excited. I'm excited for the USARK auction. What?
How many babies you bringing? Bringing quite a bit of display to sell, or what kind of inventory you bringing?
I haven't mapped it out yet, but all the clutches were due to hatch pretty much before Daytona. There's like 2 after, so there'll be a full 2 tables. I'm sure. Should be.
Tight.
A lot of stuff for display. I'll have plenty of stuff.
Hell yeah! I can't wait. I mean, because I've only heard nothing but good things about Daytona, man. Especially from you, Josh. So, I'm looking forward to trying to see what it's all about. Because there's actually hots at Daytona show, right? Like there's actual like rattlesnakes and shit there, right? Am I tripping?
No, not anymore.
No? There used to be.
There used to be.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's pretty tough in Florida now to do any hot stuff.
Hey, real quick, Josh, I don't want to get off the topic with acid because I'm curious. What are some of the acid clutches you have coming out this year, or what are some of the most anticipated stuff that you're looking to break the mold with this year with your acid combos?
I don't know. This year I was really hoping to make a lot of good Candino acid combos, but now that I've made them, I don't know if they have acid or if they're Candino. So you know what I mean? Like I don't know, but the most anticipated clutch for me is going to be making more acid leopard Candinos and making the double heads I need for the future with the double head Desert Ghost Cryptic. So if I can hatch my Desert Ghost Cryptic, whatever double head acid male with some females, then that would be excellent. Everything else, I'm just kind of tinkering around, seeing what acid does with this and that, trying to make stuff I haven't made before, trying to make more dark things than black and orange.
Yeah, tell me about it. What the fuck is this? Dog.
Yeah, I'd like to know. I'd like to know.
Oh my God. Send me the right one, bro.
It's not that complicated, whatever it is.
Jesus.
That
cool,
pairing, that pairing was just an acid blackhead, black pastel, paired to, I believe that was just a blackhead. Or no, I'm sorry, just a leopard. Can't remember. I can't remember. Okay, no, maybe that was that. Okay, maybe that was acid leopard to black pastel blackhead, and I think the one on the left is just an acid cinnamon. I've never made an acid cinnamon before, and no cinnamon's supposed to be in the pairing, but the single gene black pastels that are coming from this animal look like single gene cinnamons. So I don't fucking know. The one on the top is acid leopard cinnamon. Blackhead, acid leopard blackhead.
Female.
I think it is. I don't know for sure. It's probably a acid leopard blackhead. I don't know. There's another one just like it, and they have different bellies. And there's more dark things that are coming out that I'm able to compare them to. So I might know in a couple more clutches. But I like them.
Have you sexed them yet?
Those are both males.
Okay, respect.
I think. I know the one on the left is a male. The one on the right might be a female because I got 1.1 on those really dark ones.
Yeah, if it's a female, you might need to shoot that to me, dog. Shoot me the price. We'll talk about it because that's I'm in love with that snake, bro.
Yeah, there might be 2 of them.
Oh my God! Don't say that, please.
2 more.
I'm telling you. All right. Well, listen, Josh. With everything that's happening right now, obviously the fucking COVID's kind of like going up and down right now again. But like, last year with your snake sales, you had a good year last year, just like everyone else, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, I think everyone did.
Right. Everyone did. Right. Now, do you feel like we're going to have that same momentum going into this year or going into this coming next year?
I don't know. I mean,
what do you feel?
I know that I posted some animals on Morph Market for the first time in a long time, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I sold a lot of snakes. It seems like the momentum is still going, and I just haven't had the snakes to sell. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to continue. I have no idea. It does seem to be growing, and people seem to be spending a lot more money on snakes a lot easier than they did a while ago. That's for sure.
110%. And I feel like that's the reason why it's so easy to see how fast this fucking thing's growing, because motherfuckers they're ready to spend. You know what I mean? Plain and simple. Yep. Which is sick. Shout out. Now, do you have boas that you work with? You guys both work with boas, obviously. You guys both work with boas, right? Or is it just you, Dale?
I work with a small amount of boas, not a lot.
Okay. I wasn't too sure if Josh was working with them as well. I couldn't remember. Is it just ball pythons, Josh?
Yeah, I got one Angolan female. So
okay, right.
One day that will happen, raising up a male.
Right. Now, if we could kind of get back into what we were talking about, like with the future of acid, right? We were talking, Josh. We were talking about how there's not too many acid clowns out there. How many acid clowns that you have working with now, or you're going to be closing to producing? Any or no? Do you not work with clown at all?
No, I mean, I really never had a lot of clown to begin with, and I really made acid clown for everyone else. Everybody was always, we got to see acid clown. We got to see acid clown. I made those hets, and I made some acid clowns, and my buddy Jason has all the acid clowns now, and I love clowns. I love watching everyone hatch clowns, and anyone who makes acid clowns, they're going to sell them because there's people constantly asking me if I have acid clowns or hets.
Acid clowns are insane.
Yeah, so I love them. It's just not really what I was geared towards working with, and it isn't really what I wanted to do. I'm gonna pick maybe Monsoon and Cryptic and Desert Ghost to work with. I love clowns. I'd have no problem selling them, but it's just not what I'm gonna do. The great thing is everybody who bought acid het clowns from me doesn't have me producing a shit ton of acid clowns, pumping them out. So you got an acid het clown for me, it's pretty much your world now. So have fun with it. Make the acid clowns. I love it. It's pretty crazy to wake up now and see a new acid combo, and it already has like 300 likes, and I'm not the first person to see it. And I'm like, wow, this is great. I'm like, look at this shit. And they're like, what is it? I'm like, I don't fucking know. You're on your own now, player. Sometimes, like, I don't know. But no, it's great. So I love acid clowns.
Yeah,
somebody's making them.
Right, I'm excited to see it.
Hopefully me soon.
Yeah, Dale, you're on your way, 110%. If I could say, if anyone's going to be pumping them out and making them look ridiculous, it's going to be you for sure. I feel like
soon.
Now, Josh, if you refresh my memory, man, how far back does acid go for you? Like, how far back has acid been the investment project for you?
Well, I got the first acid male in 2014, and it really didn't pick up speed until like 2016, 2017. So it's been a good 5 years solid, having a good time with it.
Respect. That's what's up, man. Now let me ask you this, Josh. Daytona's the only show that you do once a year, right?
Yeah.
Is that just because it's so close to you, or why is that? Why do you only do one show a year?
Well, I was doing a lot of the Repticon shows, and it got tiring. Dale probably knows what it's like to do 14 or 17 shows a year.
Oh, yeah.
And, and then when you work a full-time job or you're watching a daughter, your time is pretty limited. So I pretty much decided when my daughter was born, life would be a lot easier if I didn't have to do shows, because And honestly, I'd sell more on Morph Market than I would at those shows those days. So,
yeah.
But maybe I'll do more Repticons. Maybe those Show Me Snakes or one of those other guys come down, and does a show.
I'd
Maybe
like to look at
I'll
those
do one of those.
shows.
The Show Me Snake shows, those are starting to pick up. I feel like those are getting bigger and bigger. I feel like
They are, and they're moving into Florida too. So I'd like to look at more of those.
I'm interested to see where those go. Because I don't know if you guys heard, but there was like a little fucking tiff going on with like what happened with Bob Vu at the Atlanta Repticon show. How they kind of fucking they dicked him out of his table or something like that.
Repticon's a joke. So.
Yeah, and that I didn't know anything about that until that happened. I was like, why the fuck would they do that to Bob? Like, this motherfucker probably brings a good amount of people to want to come to these shows. Why would they want to?
I don't. It
didn't make sense to me.
I've been to Repticon for I don't even know how many years now, and they're a joke show. It's a flea market. I mean, you can go there and you can make some money, but they don't care about you.
Yeah. They don't care about you. I don't even think I've been to Repticon. I'm not sure. I know there's the Reptilian Nation or something. That was one that was down here. And then there was the Pomona Super. And then there's a Super Show, which fucking Super Shows are sick as fuck. Shout out to Rami.
I hear the Super Shows are great. And any of the bigger shows are good. But Repticon's a flea market. It's a...
Yeah. I mean, obviously they're fucking, not a smart move, and I've said this before, but it is what it is. And I was just curious about that. But, I'm excited to meet Bob Vu at Daytona again. I met Bob in Texas. Cool fucking player.
Yep.
But yeah, wait, hold on. Josh, you still have that staff, don't you? That's still in your hands?
Yeah.
And if you wanted to keep that thing, you would just have to bid on it again or what?
Yep.
But you're handing it off to someone this year?
We'll see, but it's probably going to someone else. We'll see what happens. We'll see.
Damn. What do you think? What do you think the ticket's going to be on that this year? If you could predict, do you have a prediction on how high that staff's going to go?
I don't know. Apparently, I got lucky my year. I've heard the staff has sold for like $20,000 before, or maybe 10. So
respect.
Usually it's the first thing I think to go on the auction, and I don't normally make it there by the time it's really started. I'm still trying to finish dinner. So it was just dumb luck that I walked in that time.
You were walking out of it when I walked into the auction this past year. So I got to get there earlier next year. I don't plan on being on the staff, but but it was already done.
Well, you got to buy something. Renee will buy something for you.
For sure.
Now, auctions jump off, I'm assuming, at Daytona too, right? Daytona, the auction's a good time, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yep.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it, man, for sure.
It's on the beach.
Yeah, because I was going to say, the show's close to the water from what I understand, right? I think Josh was telling you that.
The Hilton is on the beach, right on the beach. That's where the auction's held. And the Ocean Center is right across the street from the beach.
Damn. Hell yeah. That's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Now, Josh, I've asked this Dale already, but you're pretty fucking careered and seasoned in with your projects. But is there anything out there just fucking with your head and just you happen to think, well, hey, I wonder what would happen if I brought this into the mix, or anything in the future that you maybe plan on bringing into the mix at some point that you can think of and spill the beans?
I picked up a couple males, some cryptic desert ghost stuff and, some other things, but I'm really kind of thinking of how I'm going to go forward and how much of what I'm going to make. Like what percentage of my production needs to be dark snakes and which percentage needs to be albinos and candinos and which side needs to be geared towards recessive. And I'm kind of restructuring some things. I wouldn't say there's anything out there that I'm wondering about. I pretty much kind of know what I want to do. There are some new things that pop up every now and then, but nah, I'm pretty set on Desert Ghost and Monsoon and Candino. And I have this other new gene that may or may not even be a new gene that no one's ever seen. I gotta save room for that. So
And what's the new gene? You don't know yet? No name for it? Just a fucking just.
It has a name. It's under construction. We're still working on things out. It might be at Daytona. You might get to see one live at Daytona.
And will the name be there by that time, or what do you think? I'm just curious. I want to know what the fuck the name is.
Oh, I don't know. I got to talk to the other guy involved. I don't know what he wants to do with the name. Then he wants it to be one name, which it's his, so it's probably can be his name. But I'm thinking we should probably change the name. So we'll see how that goes.
There you go. You better listen to them, Josh. I'm telling you right now. Fuck. Well, that's what's up, dude. What about you, Dale? I mean, Dale, let me ask you this. You told me back when you could, you kind of like you went like the other direction versus investing in clown, right? But now where you have some acid clown stuff, but are you looking to keep clown going in some of your other projects, or are you only going to keep clown and acid?
I made a huge mistake by not using that. I had clown way back, and I should have put it in everything, and I didn't. And I was like, well, I've got this clown male, and I've got this Mojave female, and I've got this Enchi female, and I got this whatever, all these single gene codoms. And I was like, nobody's gonna care about that in like 5 years. I should have put that clown on all those girls, and I should have held back all those girls, and I would be sitting real pretty right now. But I didn't. So no, clown moving forward is key, in my opinion. I mean, you can do it without clown, obviously, but no, I'm heavily invested in clown moving forward. I've got a lot of clown stuff in the works. Nothing crazy, because like I said, I should, if I would have done that then, I'd be way forward on the clown stuff. But yeah, I mean,
you're doing all right.
Clown's definitely key in my collection.
Right. Now with the cryptic shit, Josh, how new is cryptic to you in your projects? Like how fresh is that, the cryptic?
Well, I don't have any cryptics really, except for the ones I purchased. So I might hatch my first, I'm going to hatch some hets this year. So
that's a new.
I don't have any established cryptics. I need to get some older cryptic females, something like that. So I'm looking for those type of things.
But you're going full cryptic, right? Not Krypton?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I forgot they're two different things. Jesus Christ. See, that just hurts my head.
Well, it's a lyric with clown.
Yeah.
Oh,
you don't have much clown, so you're doing straight cryptic.
Okay. Now with the cryptic though, where did that really originate from? Where did cryptic come from? Was that a European gene? Did someone discover that here? Like where did cryptic come from?
That was the bells.
That was the bells. Okay, cool. Respect. Go fucking figure. Jeez. I wonder what the list is. I'm sure there is on how many fucking genes that came from them. Like either
a lot
named from them or just like how many pioneered like shit started from them. Like, dude, I'm just curious. I don't know. And
they didn't know. They didn't know in the beginning. It popped up in Desert Ghost, but it all originated from them. So people were hatching out stuff that they didn't know what was going on from their Desert Ghost stuff, and they finally tied it back to the fact that it was actually from the Bell Line Desert Ghost stuff. So,
damn. What about do you have some asphalt and gravel stuff? Am I right? Like, do you have that gravel? Okay.
I have no asphalt. When I decided to get into gravel, I went and I bought a super gravel male from Tom Harvin in Daytona. I don't know, 4 years ago, I think 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
So, because I didn't want to play the yellow belly / gravel game, so.
I could see. I mean, dude, for me, I guess it's this confidence, or maybe just because it's like me breeding it. But I mean, I feel like I have a strong belief what has gravel in it, and what has yellow belly. I mean, I could just be talking like a rookie, but I don't know.
I do too, but Justin came in and identified that, and I've hatched depending on the lineage that your stuff comes from. So I originally told you, my original GHI yellow belly was my bigger male, so I used him in a ton of stuff. I can hatch yellow belly lineage from that male in combos because I've made GHI Mojave yellow bellies and I made GHI spot nose. GHI spot nose, yellow bellies from that male, and I bred them into a lot of stuff. And I could not tell you the difference in some of the yellow bellies that I hatched from him compared to some of the gravels that I hatched from the super gravel. You could put them side by side, and you'd never tell the difference. Crazy checkered, crazy deep, like side linings. They look identical.
Yeah. And Josh, you have gravel stuff or asphalt stuff floating around in your shit, or what do you working with any of that stuff?
Nope, unfortunately, don't. I like it though.
You like it?
We did a project together though. What was that? Last 2 years ago, right?
Yep. We got some acid highways.
Super gravel to a yellow belly acid, and we hit 3 acid highways.
So I'm glad you brought that up because something just stood out in my brain because, I mean, if it's one thing I see people fuck up with a lot and it's just like, I don't know, but the whole breeder loans and projects, collaborations, you guys obviously done that with each other before. But like, what's your guys' like stand with that? Like, I mean, I'm sure you guys just don't do that with anyone, obviously. Right. But if you were to collab or kind of like go join on a project, what are some things you guys make sure of before even do any of that shit? I'm just curious. And you could go first, Dale or Josh, whoever the hell wants to talk first. No matter. I'm a light adapt.
Yeah, well,
do it, friend. That you trust.
You got to make sure it's with someone you trust, and you got to make sure they keep their reptiles clean. Don't want to bring no nasty shit into your collection.
True that. Yep.
No, it works out pretty good. I mean, it's not really that complicated. I don't really do it too often. Haven't done one in a while, really. That was probably the last one.
Yeah, I don't do them very often either. I've done very few, and it's literally, basically, I mean, the people, so.
Yep.
I think the important thing is like you guys are boys, you guys really, I think the trust is the biggest thing, right? Cleanliness obviously is. I don't think you guys would be fucking with each other if one of each other were fucking dirty. I feel like if you're really a homie, you wouldn't let another homie be dirty. You know what I mean? Like it's just like you look out for him. You know what I mean? But yeah, I see a lot of people try to do that right off the bat. Like trying to like, hey man, I got this female. Like I got people hit me up all the time, and I'm like, bro,
I see a lot of that. I see a lot of that from people that I know are like completely across the country, and they like don't even. They're like, "Oh, we're Facebook friends. Let me send you this such and such to do a breeding loan." I'm like, okay, whatever.
I thought it was funny. I saw somebody fucking post and bitch about how like, yeah, I dropped all my like half my snakes off 2 years ago, and the fucking guy didn't check in on the snakes till 2 years later. Then he waited 2 years to find out what's going on with the snakes he dropped off. Like, I don't understand that. I would have been on that shit all the fucking time.
Yep, there's some of that.
I don't know.
That happens.
Basically, use common sense. I guess that's the best thing I gotta say.
I think it is. It so many
it
things.
It's common sense.
So many things. So many issues wouldn't be issues if people just had fucking common sense. I swear to God.
Definitely agree.
And I'm not. I'm just saying. Like, I don't want to get into it, man. But not everyone's really meant for this game. They really aren't. And that's just a fact.
Y'all chat for a second. I'm gonna take a pee.
No, yeah, go ahead. But, Josh, I got to ask you, man. How do you feel? I mean, obviously you support USARK. You know about the fucking shit that's going down probably in North Carolina. Like there's like these bans happening. Now with Florida, though, I mean, it's no easier at Florida, right? So what's your outlook on what's happening with USARK and these bans that are happening in certain spots and whatnot?
I mean, it's only getting worse, really.
Right.
I mean, it's not looking good. I don't know if they're ever going to ban ball pythons or anything. You know, some of the stuff I can understand, but
Right.
I mean, really, it's all bullshit. And it's like, it's crazy that people are going to tell people that they can't keep this certain type of reptile. And it's a mess, man. I hope it never comes down to, like, you know, getting rid of all reptiles, but it seems like that's maybe their end goal.
And I feel like they don't want to stop until it gets to that point, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I think they're tripping big time.
Yeah. And, you know, unfortunately, we got reptile keepers that give them ammo. You know, there's people posting videos of people getting bit, and
Yeah.
you know, there's all, you know, some people shouldn't have snakes. That's for sure.
100%.
There's people that have big snakes. They shouldn't have big snakes.
Yeah.
But don't know what to do about that. Do we I mean, I don't even agree with licenses. Why do we got to ask permission, right? But
Right.
at the same time, we can't have every fucking crazy person who's going to leave the weights off their tank when their Burmese eats their child, right? So you got to figure out something.
Yeah. We were just talking about USARK and what's happening in North Carolina, and you guys being in Florida, Dale. I'm sure, you know, that shit has to be lingering on your mind too, right? What do you think?
It does suck. And honestly, I do agree with licenses. To a certain extent. I mean, yeah, if they want to control it and they want to get somewhat of a feel on what's actually going on or whatever, then honestly, right now the licensing is mostly just a money thing. But if that's what keeps us able to do what we want to do, then by all means, I'll pay my fee and give them my license and give them access to come look at whatever they want to come look at.
Right.
But don't just outright ban it. There's absolutely no reason for that. Like, so.
Here's the other thing too. Like, this is like, because you have people who come in to want to enforce certain things, but then how long does the law stay in effect for and before they could revote that? Like, I mean, I'm sure, like, even if they do,
I think a law was a law until it's changed. I could be wrong. I'm not.
I don't know either. That's
political, so
right.
I think it's ongoing. I mean, I think once it's passed, it's passed until it's changed.
But I've heard bans be lifted before, right? Like, how many times have there been bans on certain things that ended up?
If they're fought against and they figure there's no reason to put them in there in the first place. And I can somewhat agree with there being some restrictions on certain stuff in Florida, but all right, so you want to keep a reticulated python, go get the thing chipped and have a license that says we can come check your chip. Making something illegal is not going to stop anybody from doing it. It's going to stop the state.
It's going to make it worse. Look at the cocaine game. Like, let's go. Stop that. Like, let's be real.
Exactly. If you want to do drugs, I mean, let's make them illegal. Well, they ain't going to stop me from doing them, right? So it's the same exact concept. Control it properly. So if you want to put regulations on it, put regulations on it, but do it right and don't just outright ban it. So
I think at the end of the day, you want to know who wins this battle? The one with the most fucking money. And I don't give a fuck what anyone has to say. Whoever is,
Yep.
if USARK is the one getting all this fucking cheddar and they're fighting it against PETA, who has all these other fucking wackos with money, like, I'm talking about fucking people who are just fucking sick in the head, should not be on this earth. And I'm going to say that because guess what? They're against animals. Animals were fucking here before any of us. We're the piece of shits. You know what the fuck? Like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't know.
If y'all see the dogs crying on the info commercials, don't donate to them.
Yeah, it's a gimmick. I never even as a kid, I turned that shit off. Because I thought, I was like, who does this? Who shoves this in people's faces and like gets them to be like, you know what I mean? Like, it's been nasty.
All they're doing, that money goes to take away your rights.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm thankful for things like USARK. I'm thankful for breeders like you two who support USARK, which make it a clear reason why we should support USARK, because it's either us against these fucking wackos, and I'm not letting any fucking weirdo take anything away from me, especially if it's something that's my fucking therapeutic, my heaven, my you know what I mean? I wake up and I'm thankful for what I have. If anyone's gonna take that shit away from me, good luck. You know what I mean? That's all I gotta say.
You gotta wonder. I mean, I think my wife asked me the other night. She's like, I don't remember what you were talking about, but she's like, so with all this stuff going on, like, so what if they just banned reptiles in Florida tomorrow? Like, I don't know. I've worked my whole life for this. Like, what if they do? I don't know. You know what I mean?
And what are they gonna do? Go pick up all your animals and kill them? Like, what the fuck? Like, what do they expect to do? I'm curious. Are they gonna come in a
Not
fucking
even that? But what do you do as far as a livelihood? Like, this is what I've spent the last however many years of my life building towards, was to do this. Like,
yeah, fuck that. This is how we eat. It ain't gonna work. Fuck you, PETA. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, I don't know if I could go after that staff this year. Maybe one day, maybe 1 year, but who knows what that ticket's going to be like this year. I hope it breaks records for sure. I really do.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Because you've had it for what, 2 years now, Josh?
Nope, just one.
Just 1 year?
And then Bob Vu had it for 2 before that. So
right.
Yep.
Okay.
He's coming for it this year.
Better be ready.
Oh my God. Well, listen, Josh, I'm glad you hopped on for a bit, man. It means a lot because, like I said, I really took back when you brought up how you knew Dale and whatnot. But I mean, I got to say, man, you right now out of the people I follow are somebody I'm excited to see each time you post it, because, like, you know, with the projects that you've been working with, man, it's been passionate to you for a minute, and you know that's the kind of shit I like to follow, man. So big fucking big love and respect to you. Keep killing it, and I cannot wait to link up with you in Daytona, finally meet you and see how Daytona's done, bro, the right way.
Yep, we'll show you how it's done. Should be a good time.
All right, man. Have a good night, Josh. Thank you, bro.
All right, brother. Thank you. See you guys.
All right. And the homie Josh Royals. Sick. Fuck, man. Well, listen, Dale, I want to kind of have a wrap-up question for you before we get into the hot seat questions.
Oh, boy.
But, you know, what's your take, you know, with the hobby growing as fast as it is, right? And I say this because, you know, I'm somebody, you know, I haven't been doing this as long as you, not even a little bit. You know, I got into this in 2016, 2017, and ball pythons were it, and it brought me into the game with a whole nother fucking bunch of species. But what do you feel like, in your opinion, and since you work with other species, what do you feel like the future holds for not only the ball python game, but like the green tree python game, the emerald tree python game, like these other species that you see getting popular? Do you feel like this is something that's just a fad, or do you feel like these are species that could possibly pick up and maybe become as popular one day like the ball pythons?
I don't see the ball pythons going anywhere. I definitely see the other species picking up. I mean, if you think back, what, 10 years ago, probably green trees were about, maybe let's say 15 years ago. Green trees were about where ball pythons are. They're finicky, they're this, they're that. Everybody can't keep them. I mean, I don't keep a lot of them, and I've had my fair share of them. They can be a little finicky, but I think that captive breeding them, just like the ball pythons did, not bringing in fresh imports and hoping they establish, is going to be the key with really any species, and it's only going to get easier over time. So,
right,
yeah, I think they'll be huge moving forward. As far as like the morphs and like the diversity of them, I don't really know. I mean, the the green trees obviously seem to be more like locale specific, but I mean, there's definitely some insane combos, or I guess, is that a combo? I don't know. Like the sickness and all that kind of stuff coming out. Like, I think it's more of line breeding type
That's a
stuff.
fucking recipe, bro. Eh? Dude, the sickness is just something which reminds
It's
you
insane.
why chondros are chondros.
Insane.
And I've talked to Bill, and Bill can't even explain the sickness. Nobody can. Nobody can explain the sickness, but the sickness.
You just hope
And
you can just hope you can reproduce it.
and what's crazy is like anything. Okay, the fuck. And if you guys don't know what the sickness is, please go follow
just Google
Phoenix.
it.
Yeah,
Just
Google
Google
sickness,
it.
green tree python, it'll pop up. That's the homie Bill Stiegel. But bro, like anything produced from sickness is a red for one thing, and it's fucking all fire. Like he is proven, like that is a snake to where if it produces, it's all coming out like how he looks. Like it's that dominant of a trait or whatever the fuck. I mean, they're not morphs. I got shitted on one time years back when I called him a morph, and that's when I got
it's like I said, I think it's more of a line bred trait
Yep.
throughout the green trees, which I'm all for. I mean, I do a small amount of line breeding, like in my boas, which they're not high end by any means, but I think line breeding is going to be the future in a lot of species. So,
right.
if you can reproduce that, who cares if it's a morph or not, as long as you can reproduce it, because it's insane. So,
right. I have another question for you, and I forgot to bring this up because the big homie Josh tapped in with us. But what is going on with this? Because I need to know. I've been wanting to add one of these for quite a while, and I haven't yet. I'm not in a rush. But where you at with working with the Argentine girls? I mean, the Argentine boas. What's going on with this project?
So I wish I had picked up a lot more. I had a buddy of mine back. I mean, nobody on. So the original female or the original group he got was just a group he picked up from some friend. He's literally like nobody that's even in that you would ever have heard of or anything. He was just somebody I met through Rodents way back when. So I traded him some, I don't know, ball python morph or something for 1.1 of these babies when he hatched them.
Wow.
Or littered them, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, litter.
Yeah, and I wish I would have grabbed the whole litter, honestly.
For reals, bro. Like these are amazing. Are you breeding these anytime soon, or are you just raising them up?
I hope to be breeding them this year. So she's
Fuck yeah.
I slow grow, like she's a 2015. So
Oh, that's awesome.
So I slow grow my boas for the most part.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, it's time consuming, but boas are kind of my back burner project. Like I feel like ball pythons are easily more receptacle, like to growing quick. They don't necessarily doesn't have the repercussions that a boa or another species does. I lost 2 boas this year, breeding them back to back.
Oh,
So,
what? The females rolled?
Yeah.
Fortunate.
They bred. I think like one of them bred like 2 years in a row, took a year off, and then 2 more, and she didn't make it out of the 4th season. And then I think the other one was like one off, and then like 2 back to back. She didn't make it through that season. I was like, something's up with this. So I started listening to a lot of stuff on boas and stuff, and a lot of guys were basically like, just you got to give them one on, one off, one on, one off.
Right.
They're not a ball python. So, so I started thinking about it a little differently. So I paired my one boa girl that she laid last year. I paired her one time, and I was like, after that, I was like, nope, I'm just give you the year off. So I guess we're coming up this coming year. The Argentine girl will be hopefully coming into this year, it'll be my first year at that. So hopefully, I hear they got to be a little cooler than some species of boas. So it'll be.
And you've bred other boas, right?
Yeah. I've been breeding boas for probably 5 years now, I think.
We didn't get to talk much about boas. Do you normally drop the heat because there's a hot spot, right? Like you have a hot spot for the boas.
So I don't.
Right.
I keep mine about the same as I do my ball pythons, and honestly, I keep the hot spot about 88 to 90 degrees year round. And currently, I breed out of my house. So here in Florida, the temperatures start to drop. Probably November or something like that. Right. And then probably from roughly, depending on what it is outside or whatever, November, December, January, February, March, probably roughly, we are able to keep our windows basically open for the most part in the house. So
yeah,
it doesn't have to be crazy cool for me. Like during the day, our house is probably 88, 89. At night, I'd like it to be like 86, and I'm cool with that. So anyway, so yeah, so I mean, for that part of the year, I basically let the temperature drop, the ambient temperature drop. And sometimes during that time of the year, it'll get in 60s in our house. And I don't close the windows, I don't do nothing. Like their heat stays on, they got an 88 hot spot, and the ambient temperature gets down like 60 something or whatever. I mean, it'll get in the 40s here during that time of the year too. But in the house, it doesn't usually get that cool.
Right.
And if it's a crazy cold night, I'll shut the windows or something. But
dude, it's proven that 60s, 50s ain't gonna do shit. They ain't bad.
As long as they got a hot spot.
As long as they have a hot spot, right.
Yeah. The Argentines, I think the Argentines probably without a hot spot could probably drop down to 50 and be fine on a short period. I don't know that 100%, and I don't plan on trying that, at least in the beginning.
Right.
I plan on kind of gauging them because they grew up here, so I plan on kind of gauging them like the rest of everything else. I feel like they get acclimated to pretty much whatever's going on. So just like ball pythons have transitioned over the years as far as breeding goes. So they're not as cut and dry as they used to be as far as all the stuff that you're right about in the beginning. If you can breed them year round now, it's different. So
what's up, man? Fuck yeah. All right, man. Well, listen, you ready to hit these hot seat questions before I let you enjoy the rest of your night, or what? It's game time, bro. All right. It is time for hot seat questions, Dale, and you are not escaping these. Nobody does. Nobody escapes these hot seat questions. And at the end of the day, they are hot seat questions. I don't need an explanation with your answer. If you got you got to. I got it. I understand.
I'm not gonna JP it.
Listen, JPs are out there, and there's nothing wrong with being a JP. I love JP, but fuck. All right, here we go. So hot seat questions for the homie Dale. Coming in hot, just like some Florida temperature or weather. That's what I meant.
Right.
Where the fuck are the
even
hot
as
seat?
fuck.
All right, here we go. So hot seat questions for the homie Dale coming in hot. Frozen Daughter live.
Live.
Oh shit! Hold on. A cut or no cut?
Cut.
Big flexor or no flexor?
Flexor, I guess.
All right. Respect. I love it. I thought you were gonna say no flex. I was like, oh, he's gonna try to say no flex.
You want the explanation or not?
No explanation. Nope. Sports or no sports?
Not anymore. No.
Not anymore. So no sports. Got it. Steak or fish?
Steak.
Mountains or lake?
Well, damn. I'll probably go lake.
Lake or a beach?
Beach.
Nice. Van Halen or Sammy Hagar?
Van Halen.
Nirvana or Sublime?
Sublime.
Fuck yeah.
All day.
I would kind of sweat there for a little bit because this was going great.
Sublime's my jam.
That's my life. I normally, like, when a podcast is going this good, it usually gets fucked up by the hot seat questions, and you just saved that one thing. We're not done yet, but Jesus Christ, you saved it. Eminem or Machine Gun Kelly?
Eminem all day.
All right. West Coast rap or East Coast rap?
West Coast.
Favorite West Coast rapper?
Probably Dr. Dre.
All right, respect. Little word association. First thing to come to mind: milk.
That was about good.
Cocoa.
Block.
Substrate.
Cocoa.
Stuck shed.
Humidity.
What?
Humidity.
Ovulation.
Awesome.
Day 52.
Probably cut. Maybe. Depends on what the eggs look like.
Let's go. We're cutting those motherfuckers. Instagram trolls.
Fuck them.
Yes.
Or yeah.
Yeah. Well, what about, the last and final question? One has to go, and
Obviously,
one forever.
Facebook.
Hold on, I wasn't even finished yet. I have that for sure. But I have another question. You have to get rid of one name and one name forever. It might be It might be an obvious one, just like what Facebook. But Static or Acid, which one needs to go?
Fuck Static.
Oh man, I love it. Dale, we had about 70-ish people at one point going in the live. Appreciate all the viewers, but you had some motherfucking supporters in here, man, showing you mad love. What do you have to say to all your supporters, all your customers that come back to you and fuck with you? What do you have to say to all those people out there listening, man?
I appreciate everybody who tuned in and supports me. So, thank you.
Sick. Well, I can't wait to meet you.
I appreciate the opportunity of coming on. So,
yeah, bro. You already know this is going to happen again. You're the homie, Dale. I've been following your work for a while, and I will say your projects influence my projects. Like, I was able to sit back and say, I want to work on the dark shit and my own type of shit because of accounts like Dale's, an account like Josh's and shit. So, dude, thank you so much. This was an honor having you on the show. We will have you on again, round 2 worthy, all day, every day. We will link up in Daytona, and we'll talk more.
Look forward to meeting you in Daytona.
Hell yeah, man. We'll talk more. You have a good rest of your night, and thanks for fucking with the trap, man. It means a lot.
Thanks. You too.
All right, see you, Dale.
All right, bye.
All right, Dale Richards in the book. Love it. Been waiting for this episode for a while, and I'm glad we were able to get it done with the homie Jay Royals, who tapped in. Gotta love it. Only on Trap Talk, baby. You guys know the deal. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you for tapping into the coolest reptile podcast in the world. If this was your first time, hit that subscribe button. You will not be disappointed. That way, you're on top of every single Trap Talk I come out with. I do these lives every Thursday night, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And I do remote Trap Talk sessions, which I don't actually put a date on those. Those will just happen. Those are going to be random. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're subscribed, you hit that notification bell, you're going to be involved in every single live I put out, because I love all the viewers. I love everyone who taps in. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. All my early birds, you guys literally get the fucking show started. It means a lot to me. So thank you. Daytona is coming up. We got 2 weeks. Next week is going to be heavy because, like I said, if this was a Daytona warm-up, next week is going to still be that warm-up to Daytona. I'm not going off course here. So just be ready to tap in next week, because next week's going to be fucking heavy. It's going to get hot, like that Florida humid hot. And if you guys ever need to get a hold of me, I'm not hard to get a hold of. Trust me. Hit me up on Instagram, mjexoticscartal with an A, not an E. Please go follow the Trap Talk with MJ podcast account on Instagram as well. Holler at your boy. Shout out to my Twitch viewers. And then shout out to my Patreon family. You guys are amazing. Keep grinding. Keep doing what you're doing. I see so much in every single one of you, and I'm not even saying that. because I could see the passion going with your guys' communication back and forth. And I appreciate every single one of you guys, man. Thank you for all the support. If you out there are looking to support this channel further than a subscription, not only that, looking to be a part of a sick-ass community, well, before you dip out, go down to the link, click on the Patreon page, join the Trap Talk Patreon family, and see what we're all about, because we don't fuck around, and we're about that business, and we're all going to eat. We're going to eat good, man. So, all right, guys, I will see you guys next week. Like I said, thank you for tapping into the coolest reptile podcast in the world. Have a good night.